Okay, if you're watching this video, that means my kid is still sick and I am not coming in today. But I am here. Hey! Quiet! Sit down! Hey, oh, never mind. This is first hour. You're not making a noise. Okay, here we go. 7th hour. Shut up! Alright, here we go. Go ahead and pause. Would the sub please pause the video, give them time to do the bell work, and then hit play. Okay. I'm going to distribute to solve this. Negative 2 times 10, I'm sorry, times 5 is negative 10. Now, here I have 3 x's. Over here I have 6 x's. Here I have 8 y's. Here I have just 1 y. So, 3 plus 6 is x to the 9th. 8 plus 1 is y to the 9th. You cannot simplify this anymore. That's your answer. Over here, same thing. I'm going to multiply 4x to the 5th to this, to this, to this, and to that. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. 5 plus 2 is 7. There's a negative 1 here. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 5 plus 1 is 6. 4 times 5 is positive 20. Now, there are 0 x's here. 5 plus 0 is 5. This is just like x to the 0. Remember we said anything raised to the 0 is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. So we can write x to the 0 if you want. Don't need to. All you need to know is 5x's plus 0x's is 5x's. A lot of people like to say 5x's plus 0x's is 0x's. That would be multiplication. Let's add. Okay. Today we're going to talk about negative exponents. When I have a negative exponent, it is not simplified. I'm not allowed to have negative exponents. Okay, negative exponents in an answer is not simplified. In order to make it proper, to make it simplified, all you do is, this is 5 to the negative 2 power, so I just write it as a fraction, put a 1 underneath it. And when I have a negative exponent, it means I have to move my base and my exponent to the other spot in the fraction. So this is the numerator. I have to make it the denominator. When I do that, I put a 1 on top, and the exponent magically becomes positive 2. Now, this is not simplified. 5 squared equals 1 over 25. The temptation is just to make it positive and write 25. That's not correct. You have to turn it into a fraction, and then you have to move the exponent either up or down, and that makes it positive. Okay, so whenever you have a negative exponent and it's not a fraction, make the number a fraction, okay? Then you're going to move the base, the big number with the negative exponent, to the other spot of the fraction. This is in the numerator, so I'm going to move it down to the denominator. So this is going to equal 1 over 6 to the 3rd power. Now, 6 to the 3rd power, 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 6 is 216. So this equals 1 over 216. Same thing with letters. I'm going to convert this to a fraction because it has a negative exponent. I'm going to move the x to the negative 5 downstairs. That's going to give me 1 over x to the 5th power. Now, I can't simplify x to the 5th power. It is simplified. It works when your number is the denominator. 2 to the negative 4 is the denominator, so I have to move this upstairs. So this becomes 2 to the 4th over 1, or just 2 to the 4th. 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, so that equals 16. Okay. That's what we're doing here, okay? We're just moving these. I'm going to continue to do these. Go ahead and pause. If the substitute could please pause the video. I want you to do 5, 6, and 7, and then when they do them, hit play and see if they got the right answer. Okay. X to the negative 3 needs to move up. So I'm going to get x cubed. I can't simplify x cubed. I'm done. X to the negative 7 needs to move up. Now, there's already a 2 up here, so it becomes 2 times x to the positive 7th power. Okay, so now things are getting a little more complicated. This x is to the negative 3 power. We can't have that. It has to move. So I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it down to the basement. So my y to the 6th is still going to stay up top. Y to the 6th, because it's not negative. I don't move it. But on the bottom, now I have x to the positive 3. Z to the 4th stays right here because it doesn't need to move, because it's a positive exponent already. That's my answer. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. Do 8, 9, and 10. And then once they get done with those, go ahead and start the video again. Okay, y to the negative 7 needs to move up. I'm sorry, w to the negative 7 needs to move up. Y to the negative 5 needs to move down. So, x cubed stays up. Z to the 4th stays down. W to the 7th moved up. Y to the 5th moved down. Okay? When you did 9, I hope you simplified the fraction. 4 divided by 6 equals 2 over 3. The x and the y are going to stay up. However, the w is also going to move up. And the z is also going to move up. So now I'm going to get w squared x, y to the 6th, z cubed. So let me rewrite that. 2 over 3, w squared moves up, my x stays up, my y to the 6th stays up, my z cubed moves up. So the only thing down on the bottom is your 3. Your 3 has to stay on bottom. It cannot move. Notice how I put them in alphabetical order. That's a nice way to do it. Okay, my x to the negative 7 needs to move down. My y to the negative 5 needs to move up. So I get y to the 5th power over x to the 7th power. All right. Now, when you're dividing variables, there's another rule with these exponents. We talked about this yesterday. How many x's do I have here? I hope you all said 5. So I can write this like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many x's do I have here? I hope you all said 2. So I can write this like this. 1, 2. Now, things on top cancel things on bottom. So, this cancels this, this cancels this. How many x's do I have left? I have 3 x's left, so it's x to the 3rd. The thing is, are they going to stay on top or on bottom? Well, they're on top here, so they stay on top. You don't have to write it over 1. I'm doing that to show you that those 3 x's have to stay on top. So if you have the same variable on top and bottom of a fraction, you cancel them out. Look here. How many x's are on top? 2. How many x's are on bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, these cancel out. How many x's do I have left? That's right, I have 3 x's left, except are they on top or bottom? They're on bottom. So wherever the big number is, that's where your answer is going to be. Now, do I have to write these out every time? No. Remember our rule, if I move something, it becomes the opposite sign. So I'm going to bring the smaller number up to the bigger number. This is 4, it's smaller, so I'm going to bring it up. When I bring it up top, it becomes x to the 6th and x to the negative 4. 6 minus 4 is x squared. Okay. Remember, always bring the bigger number to the smaller number and turn it negative. So here, this would be 1 over x to the 6th times x to the negative 4. I brought the smaller number to the bigger number, and I turned it negative. That's our rule. If you move a number or a letter with an exponent to the bottom of the fraction, it becomes negative. If you move it from the bottom to the top, it becomes negative. 6 minus 4 equals 1 over x squared. See there? That's the bigger number, so that's where my answer is going to be. Okay, I actually just showed you the rule. When dividing like bases with exponents, we subtract the exponents. Go ahead and do 5, 6, and 7. Pause the video. Turn the video back on once they get 5, 6, and 7 done. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm moving the smaller up to the bigger. So I get x to the 5th. Now I'm not going to write x squared. I'm just going to go 5 minus 2. Y to the 4 minus 3. So this equals x cubed y to the 1st power. That's my answer right there. If you need to write out all the x's and y's, write them out. Whatever gets you the answer. If you need to go, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and I have 1, 2, 3, and these cancel, leaving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's on top, and then write out 1, 2 y's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, that's a y, and then canceling them out. Okay, that leaves me 4 y's on bottom, and then writing your answer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, x to the 5th over y to the 4th, then please do that. Okay? If you need to do that, go ahead. However, if you can just go, oh, this is x to the 8 minus 3, and this is y to the 6 minus 2, and then go x to the 5th over y to the 4th, good job. You're a rock star. Remember, always bring the smaller number to the bigger number. Minus 2 cancels out. Minus 3 cancels out. Okay? Number 7. Okay, what is 12 divided by 4? That's right, it is 3. Bring the smaller number up to the bigger number. 5 minus 3 is 2. 3x squared is your answer. Okay. 8, 9, and 10, you're on your own. If you have any questions, you can ask Ms. Williams. We're going to go ahead and do the last one. We're going to do number 12. 2 divided by 12. Please do this in the calculator. 2 divided by 12 is 1 over 6. Now, look here. This is a negative exponent already. So when I move this down, what does it become? It becomes positive. So this actually is x to the 7 plus 6. When I move an exponent from the numerator to the denominator, or from the denominator to the numerator, it becomes the opposite sign. 7 plus 6. Here, this is positive. I always move smaller to bigger. So this is a positive 3, so when I move it up here, it becomes negative 3. This becomes y 8 minus 3. So this equals 1y or y to the 5th over 6x to the 13th. Okay? You have to be careful. You have to be careful of the negative exponents. Now, negative over negative is a positive, so that's going to become a positive 4 in number 9. Just want to point that out to you real quick. Okay? Let's go ahead and do one more. You go ahead and do 13. Pause the video. When they get it done, substitute, please play the video. Oh, sorry, cough. Okay, here we go. Okay, had another cough. 3 divided by 9 is 1 over 3. Okay? Now, both positive. When I move the smaller up, it becomes negative 4. 20 minus 4 is x to the 16th. Negative 7 is smaller than negative 9. However, when I move negative 7, when I move it down to the bottom, what does it become? It becomes positive 7. I get y to the 16th. That's my answer. Okay. I will be back tomorrow. Miss Williams or Miss Cortez can answer any questions you have. 7th hour, you'll have to ask me tomorrow. I'll be here to answer any questions in the morning on Wednesday. All right, kids, be good for the sub. If the sub leaves me any kind of note about your class misbehaving, I promise you, you will not like the results. You'll be waiting out in the hall. You'll be coming in quietly. You will not be talking. So just be good for the sub. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.